Layers organize your elements, they make selecting elements easier, they simplify versioning projects, and more. Go to Windows, Layers, to open up the Layers panel. It also may already be open, but collapsed, in which case, I'm going to close it here. You can just click on this little icon here, hover over it to get the tooltip, click, and it will expand the Layers panel. Now let's add some elements to the page. I'm drawing a frame and then switching to the Text tool and clicking inside. In the Type menu, I'm selecting Fill with Placeholder Text. Now I'm drawing a rectangular frame, switching to the Text tool, typing directly inside to write my text. And then I will use the Control bar, which I've moved to the bottom of the screen, to adjust the type. Now I'm using the Ellipse tool while holding down the Shift key in order to make a circle. And I will again use the Control bar to adjust the fill and stroke. You can also do these things in the Properties panel. Now I'm selecting the Polygon Frame tool and then clicking once in my project, which calls up this menu. I choose the number of sides I want my polygon to have, and I adjust the star inset if I want to make a star shape out of it. And there we have my star-shaped frame. I'm going to File, Place Image, selecting an image file, and then selecting Size Image proportionately to fill frame. For a final element, I'm going to create a large rectangle to serve as my background. So, large rectangle shape. Drawing the shape. And now for the fill, I'm going to do a gradient fill. There isn't one already set up in my swatches, so I'm going to need to create a new gradient. So I'm creating a new gradient swatch. It's popping up. I'm shifting it from linear to radial. And then I can adjust each color in the gradient using the CMYK sliders. If it doesn't automatically give you a CMYK slider, you may need to switch that button there. Now I select the rectangle and go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, and it's in my background. But I don't want to be clicking and selecting that all the time. So I go to my Layers panel. If you click the small arrow, it will show you all the items in a particular layer. At the bottom of the Layers panel, click on the little plus symbol to create new layers. Select the name of an object in the Layers panel, and this is why naming your assets is really important. You don't want to have a name that just says like image 1 through 5. And you can just drag the name of that asset into another layer. Now you can drag each asset into the layer where you want it. I'm dividing mine up into a background layer, a text layer, and an art layer. If you click on layer 1, you can rename it, and then rename the others. You can also drag the layers in the panel to arrange them from front to back. Each layer has its own color in the panel and in the frames. You can select assets directly by clicking on them, or by clicking on them in the Layers panel. Right-click or click directly on this hamburger here in the Layer panel to see these options. If you select Layer Options, it will give you another option menu, and this is where you can lock your layer and also rename it again if you need to change the name. When you lock your layer, a padlock icon will appear in the Layers panel. And now you cannot click on or select or move or change anything in that layer, only things in other layers. So if a layer is locked, you can't accidentally select something in that layer or adjust it or change it. Notice that only those two items were selected when I lassoed them because I've reduced it to only one active layer. Music here was of royal descent by Abolish the Echelon.